You're not here by accident, and this needs to reach you before tomorrow. Today isn't just another day. Today, time feels attentive, as if it's been watching you from afar, and now it has decided to call your name, but not in a gentle voice, with urgency. There are moments when the universe whispers, but this is one of those when it screams. You feel it. Maybe like a slight pressure in your chest, as if something invisible is about to happen and your soul, before your mind, already knows it. You saw the number, 1111, maybe on the clock, maybe on a receipt, maybe while mindlessly scrolling on your phone, but you saw it, and in that moment, everything stopped. Even if just for a second you knew that number wasn't just a coincidence, it was a calling. Have you noticed? 1111 doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It shows up when the soul is about to wake up, when the invisible plane lightly touches the edge of the visible world. And when that happens, a silent choice presents itself. This is one of those moments. On this May 12th, the energy of 1111 isn't just symbolic. It will reach a rare peak, a point of vibrational convergence that aligns sky, soul, and destiny. It's as if a portal has been programmed to open from within. You're not just watching a video. You're inside an energetic vortex. And it doesn't wait. It doesn't negotiate. It simply manifests, and those who are awake cross through. But why now? What is trying to reach you so urgently? Maybe it's the reunion with parts of yourself you've forgotten. Maybe it's the chance to correct your course. Maybe, just maybe, it's the moment your soul asked for before you were even born. You feel it, even if you can't explain it, even if you don't know how to put it into words. Something inside you already recognizes something is happening now, and if you ignore it, you might go on living with the feeling that something essential was left behind. But if you listen, if you truly listen, you might cross an invisible threshold that changes everything. So listen with your body, feel with your heart, because time isn't just passing. Time is calling you. You saw 1111 and something inside you stopped. But did you understand what you were looking at or who was looking back? That number, which many dismiss as coincidence, isn't just a pretty hour on the clock. It's a mirror, a code, a crack between dimensions. When 1111 appears, it's showing you a version of yourself you forgot, but that never disappeared. Think about it. Two pairs of one. Mirror of the mirror. Light reflecting light. 1111 is a symbolic alignment, not of human schedules, but of spiritual truths. Have you ever felt like you're living a life that isn't quite yours? Waking up, following the routine, even smiling, but deep down feeling like something's missing? As if an essential part of your existence were asleep? That's exactly the part 1111 comes to touch. It shows you the point where you drifted off course, where the dream turned into survival, where the calling was drowned out by promises that were never yours to keep. But there's a detail. It doesn't accuse, it only reflects. Like a cosmic mirror, 1111 returns the image of who you were, who you are, and who you can still become. And when it shows up repeatedly, it's not just signaling an energetic alignment. It's asking for courage. It's asking for attention. It's saying, remember. But remembering isn't easy, because remembering who you truly are means looking at what you chose to forget. And that is the true portal. It's not a hole of light in the sky. It's the crack that opens inside you when you finally decide to face what you've abandoned in yourself. Maybe you don't even know where to start, but here's a simple, quiet, almost magical gesture. Next time you see 1111, stop, close your eyes, and notice what's the first thought, image, or sensation that arises. Don't question. Don't judge, just observe. Whatever appears is a clue, a key, an invisible thread pulling you back to your center, because 1111 isn't an external sign. It's an internal reflection, and every time it flashes before your eyes, it's telling you, with urgency and love, that it's time to come home. You feel like something is approaching, but you don't know exactly what. It's a restlessness that doesn't come from outside. It has no sound, no face, no concrete form, but it vibrates like a whisper trapped in your chest, as if time were about to flip inside out, and somehow your soul already knew. That urgency pulsing within you, it's not an illusion. It's not ordinary anxiety either. It's a spiritual haste, a kind of ancient memory that stirs when the portal draws near. And the portal is here, now. There's no use looking at the clock hoping it'll tell you what's going to happen. What's coming doesn't depend on time. What's coming depends on your inner availability. What 1111 activates isn't an external event, it's an internal process. You're not racing against time. You're racing against the blocks you've created yourself, against the invisible chains that keep you in cycles, that keep you waiting, even after the button has already been pressed, because it has already been pressed. And maybe that's why you've been feeling so out of place lately, so stuck between what you want to do and what you still feel you can't, so torn between moving forward and staying where you are. The paradox is real. You're ready and scared at the same time, and that's okay. Awakening doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. It's in this kind of internal conflict, between the urge to move and the desire to protect yourself, that true vibrational leaps occur. But ignoring this call, pretending it's not there, trying to silence this urgency, only causes the energy to stagnate. And spiritual stagnation is sneaky. It doesn't hurt right away. It just drains life, turns days into repetition, dreams into distant ideas, and the heart into an echo. You feel that the button has been pressed. You sense that something wants to be born, but everything's on standby. And what if you're the only one who can release that command? What if it's your surrender, not your control, that activates the crossing? Because time isn't demanding speed, it's asking for presence. The universe doesn't want you to rush, it wants you to wake up. The difference lies in how you hear the call, with fear or with openness, with resistance or with surrender. What comes next depends on that. There's a moment when the universe stops speaking loudly and starts communicating in silence. But you only understand that language when you're sensitive enough, and 1111 demands that. Sensitivity. It doesn't come explaining, it comes multiplying signs, repetitions, subtle noises, phrases that echo, people who reappear, sensations that seem small, but are actually trying to pierce the veil of your attention, because the universe doesn't use words, it speaks in vibration, in patterns, in symbols. And everything around you, absolutely everything, can become a bridge of meaning when you tune into the frequency of listening. Have you noticed that after seeing 1111, certain things start repeating? Small tech glitches, the same song playing in different places, names, places, or memories resurfacing for no obvious reason. None of that is random. These events aren't background noise, they're vibrational impressions, reflections of what's being realigned within you, and the more you ignore them, the more intense they become. Not out of punishment, but out of loving persistence, like a spiritual guide who knows you need to wake up, even when you insist on staying asleep. And that's why the number shows up again, and again, and again. Because in truth, it doesn't want to be seen. It wants to be felt. It wants you to stop for a second, just one, and remember that there's something beyond the surface. There's a cosmic intelligence weaving the details, and it's speaking to you. Have you ever tried not reacting to 1111, but just being with it? Being with the number, with the symbol, with the silence it opens. 11 seconds, 11 breaths, 11 beats of your own heart, paying attention to what's happening inside and out. Because the portal isn't the number, the portal is the pause it creates in you, the break in the pattern, the interruption of autopilot. It's in that pause that the new enters, not with noise, but with presence, not with answers, but with questions. And everything that happens around you in the hours that follow carries clues. You are being guided. Even if everything still feels confusing, slow, fragmented, There is a hidden rhythm stitching the backdrop of your experience. And 1111, like a precise cosmic beat, marks the exact tempo of your spiritual reorientation. You just need to listen with your whole body. The body always knows first. Before the mind formulates, before reason understands, before the word arises, the body has already felt it. And when the energy of 1111 approaches, it's in the body that it shows up first. Maybe you felt it. An inexplicable tingling in your hands, a shiver that didn't come from the cold, a sudden fatigue in the middle of an ordinary day. Maybe your dreams have become more vivid, or your sleep lighter and more restless. Maybe your heart started racing without a clear reason, or a strange urge to cry came over you, even without sadness. These aren't symptoms, they're signs. Vibrational messages that cross the subtle layer of reality and touch your energy centers directly. The energy of 1111 isn't confined to an ethereal realm. It crosses fields. It flows through the chakras, especially the upper ones, throat, third eye, crown, and moves down into the heart. It's like an invisible pulse reprogramming the way you connect to life. And the body, in its silent wisdom, responds, not with logic, but with sensation. You feel more. You feel others more. Feel the environment more. Feel yourself more. You feel what you've been ignoring. You feel what you've been hiding. That's why, during these activations, many people experience subtle discomforts. Not because something's wrong, but because something is being released. The old frequency is dissolving, and the new, still fragile, is finding space. This process needs care. It needs listening. It needs breath. Breathing is the spirit's first language in the body. It's also the bridge between the invisible and the tangible, between what is felt and what is transformed. When the energy of 1111 touches you, and it already is, breathe with presence. Triangular breathing. 3 seconds to inhale, 3 seconds to hold, 3 seconds to exhale, and repeat 11 times. This simple movement realigns the body, calms the nervous system, opens the energetic field, and signals to the universe that you're available, not to force, but to flow. You don't need to understand everything right now. You don't need to have answers. You just need to feel. Because in this very moment, something is happening inside you, and even if the outside world seems the same, you're no longer who you were. There are certain days when everything seems to come back. Old feelings, situations you thought you had overcome, behavior patterns you swore you'd never repeat. They show up, sometimes subtly, sometimes overwhelmingly, and you ask yourself, why is this happening again? But 1111 doesn't repeat. It revisits. That's the difference. And it's a profound one. What's reappearing now isn't coming back to trap you. It's coming back to be set free. Because what still hurts is exactly what needs to be seen again. But with new eyes. Eyes that have already been through the pain, that have crossed the desert, that now have the maturity not to react, but to recognize. You're not regressing, you're recycling, transmuting, closing doors that were left ajar, releasing ties you once called home. When the number 1111 shows up frequently, it opens this kind of mirror, not to blame you, but to free you. Life doesn't repeat out of whim, it repeats out of compassion. It insists when something still needs to be understood with the heart, not with the mind. So notice what's returned in these days. Who came back? What hurt? What triggered you? These experiences are traces of old contracts, emotional, spiritual, energetic, that you're being invited to dissolve now. And dissolving isn't erasing, it's honoring, embracing, giving thanks, and moving on. Imagine for a moment that these repeating patterns are like spirals. Every time they return, you're at a higher point in the spiral, and that changes everything. Because now, with more awareness, you can respond differently. You can feel differently. You can choose differently. That's healing. It's not about escaping the cycle. It's about transmuting it from within. Close your eyes if you can. Visualize this spiral in front of you. See the old dissolving like golden dust, vibrating, spinning, making way for the new that's waiting. You're not failing, you're completing something. 1111 doesn't want you to repeat, it wants you to awaken. And when you awaken, you don't go back. You move through, even if it still hurts a little, even if there's still fear, you move through. Because you know that on the other side is where you begin to remember who you've always been. When night falls, something dissolves in the air. The noise of the world quiets down. Distractions pull back, and what was whispering throughout the day finally finds space to speak. The night of May 12th won't be an ordinary night. It carries a symbolic, vibrational, and silent weight. A veil thins, a cycle concludes, and a subtle transition takes place between two states of being. You may not see lights in the sky, you may not hear bells or feel tremors, but there is an invisible portal opening for those willing to enter with their hearts. Without haste, without noise, just intention, because the sacred doesn't need to be grand, it needs to be true. This night is a passage, and every passage calls for a gesture, not for the universe, but for yourself. You're leaving behind versions of you that no longer support the new life you wish to live. You're ending silent pacts with fear, scarcity, self-abandonment, and that ending deserves to be honored. Imagine writing a letter, not just any letter, but a letter to that you you're leaving behind. The one who had to endure too much, the one who didn't know how to ask for help, the one who learned to stay silent just to survive. Write down in thought or in words everything you wish to release. And when you finish, imagine that paper dissolving in soft flames of gratitude. There's no guilt here, only recognition. And when you lie down tonight, place a glass of water beside your bed. Not as a mystical ritual, but as a symbol that something is being purified, that a cycle has been cleansed, that a new contract is being signed with life. And at dawn, drink that water as someone who silently seals a promise with the future, not the calendar future, but the vibrational future you've just begun to choose. The energy of 1111 doesn't end when the number disappears from the clock. It stays alive in your presence, in your intention, in your courage to make the invisible a real pact with your path. And tonight, even in silence, could mark the beginning of your crossing, if you allow it. If you simply breathe and open yourself. There is a loneliness that doesn't come from the absence of people. It comes from the space between what you feel and what others can understand. It's the kind of silence that sets in when you start seeing the world through different eyes, but still don't know how to talk about it. Maybe today you're feeling exactly that, like no one truly understands you, like the words you try to use to explain your transformation only find blank stares or shallow advice, and so you go quiet, not from lack of courage, but from lack of space. But here's something your soul may already know. This loneliness is sacred. Before expansion, there is retreat. Before a flower opens, it must endure the darkness of the soil. Before light reveals itself, there's a precise moment when everything feels too quiet. That moment is necessary because it's when you truly hear yourself. 1111 speaks directly to that frequency, not to the part of you that wants to be understood, but to the part that already understands, even without explanation. It doesn't come to confirm anything for others. It comes to confirm for you that the path is real, that the calling is true, and that even alone you've never been disconnected. You may be going through this now, feeling separated from the world, but closer to something you can't yet name. This crossing is intimate. No one can walk it for you, and that's exactly why it's so powerful, because the soul's silence isn't absence. It's pure presence. It's where the deepest answers arise, not as phrases, but as silent certainties. As the feeling that despite everything, you are exactly where you need to be. So if today you feel alone, know that you're not lost. You're in connection with something many still can't perceive. You are between portals, between worlds, between versions of yourself. And even if no one walks with you now, the path already recognizes your steps. Write this down inside you. I am alone, but never disconnected. That's the frequency of 1111, and whoever walks through it never walks in vain. You've come this far for a reason you might not yet understand, but you've arrived. And that changes everything. Linear time would say tomorrow is just another day. But awakened consciousness knows the next 24 hours are different. They are thresholds, they are portals. Not because something magical will fall from the sky, but because you are different. And the way you choose to stand before life from this moment forward can alter what's yet to come. The number 1111 isn't a promise of destiny. It's an invitation to cross over. It brings no guarantees. It offers choices. And the most important one is the courage not to go back to the old just because it feels familiar. The comfort zone is deceptive. It shelters you, but also stagnates you. It protects, but also holds you back. And now, with this portal open, with this precise vibration in the air, the universe isn't watching what you wish for. It's watching what you choose. Because desire without action is noise, but desire with movement is code. You don't have to change everything in a day, but what you do in the next few hours will anchor the reality being shaped in the unseen. Choose consciously. Breathe with intention. Speak less. Feel more. Listen to the signs that will keep coming, maybe in silence, maybe as a sudden urgency, maybe in small encounters that seem ordinary, but aren't. Honor the call, even in silence, even alone, even with fear still present. Because 1111 didn't come to promise a happy ending. It came to remind you that you can begin again. And if somewhere inside you this message rang true, then you're already crossing. There's no turning back. And you know it. Time won't wait for doubts. The energy is already moving, the portal is already open, and the moment is now. If this touched your soul, it's because it was already part of your path. Share this journey with others who also feel the veil is thinning. Also subscribe to the channel, and if you want to keep exploring the codes of awakening, click now on the video on the screen. There's more waiting for you, and your journey is only just beginning.